Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I owe you a memory planning spread. I have realized that in my memory planner, so the month of April, I had made this for a video that you've already seen for Stretch Your Stamps. So it wasn't seen until recently, but I did this one. Then I did this one just on my own. It was so simple, and I was just trying to figure out a way off camera because this kind of bled through the paper a little bit, so I just used a lot of cardstock there. So I didn't film this one. This one I made into a reel on Instagram and or TikTok. I guess you just call it a TikTok. So I just filmed it, and it's a fast-paced one because I kept it quite simple. As you can see, I'm behind on my journaling. And then I also made this one into a reel / TikTok because I have both platforms with the same handle. So you can view this one too. But once again, I felt just rather simple. I just covered up this with the copy paper in order to use these stickers from Live Life Posh and sprinkled them around, and then just kept the images down below. So since I haven't really filmed anything since this one back in the beginning of April, I owe you a couple spreads, I owe you. So we are currently mid-May. I think it's like May 15th, but I am 2 weeks behind already in my memory planner. So I pulled out the first week, and here's the second page of the second week. And so we're going to catch up. Hopefully this will be a two spread video. And the first week was Mother's Day. So I've pulled out these papers. I'm really leaning towards this one to use only because I want to do some fussy cutting out of these, but I did pull this fun heart one, and then maybe to keep like a neutral one, also this one. Probably not this one for sure, but I am liking this one, this big luscious floral. This is from Maggie Holmes' Garden Party. And like I said, it was Mother's Day on the 8th. And believe it or not, it was also, though, our open house the day before. So we are in the midst of packing. So my scrap room is literally all packed away except my desks area. And I've kept out a bunch of projects that, I'm ongoing. I still have my Week in the Life album, which I'm waiting for the photos. So yeah, I'm trying to still film in the middle of moving, which is really hard. But I wasn't one of those YouTubers that have a bunch of stuff pre-filmed. I kind of film, post, which is unfortunate, but that is where we're at. So I'm thinking of using this. I found this yellow acetate alpha that I've been hoarding from Elf Studio. This has been in my collection, so the yellow just picked up the yellow here. But I also have, and it's actually like the same alpha, believe it or not. This one's called Headline Upper from Carrie Bradford, but it's like the same. So this is why this is a point in, about stamping, and why I love or have been loving my love for stamping is because I've been hoarding this set, because if you know alphas, like if you run out of the E's, then it's so hard to make other words for a chunk of time. So I hoard stuff like alphas, and this has been in my collection. But then when you have a stamp that is the same like font, this I can buy different just color inks and then have the alpha all the time. So if you haven't been increasing your alpha stamp set, I highly encourage you to do so, because in case in point, I will probably use these to write out Mother's Day somewhere on this side, but I can rest assured that if I run out, I can still have the alpha and then use it in the future. But we're going to use the stickers today. So what I'm kind of feeling is that I think I want to have it like top heavy this time and kind of have it in the corner, but then just fussy cut maybe this way, so that that little portion is featured. And then on this side, maybe I'll have to flip it and then cut around here to have it on the top here. And only because I think in general, don't get me wrong, I could do it the opposite way too. I think I was just trying to change it up because remember that last spread in here, I had it bottom heavy here. So I was just trying to flip it and make it top heavy. On the opposite one, you don't have to. I could totally do the same for the bottom. So you're just going to see me quickly, because I'll speed up the footage. Cut this out for 2 strips, and I'll either decide to do it on the bottom or on the top portions. And then we're going to write out Mother's Day. Maybe also open house, just so I can keep track of this from years to come on how hectic it's been here. So if you've ever sold a house, we've been waiting or, stalling to sell our current home because we were told that our house would be done being built end of July. And so hence it's only May. So this was when we were going to schedule this selling so that we can sort of find a unicorn buyer and be able to rent to live here for a little bit until our house was done. But needless to say, our house is done, and they only let us know like 3 weeks prior to it being done. And so we hadn't even had our open house yet. So now everything's just put like on a rapid like processes for this sale, and it's just been very stressful for all of us. So this is my self-care, my self-love in order to catch up on my memory planner. So I thought I was doing it either heavy on the top or heavy on the bottom, and it turns out I kind of like it down the middle. Now when I cut that little strip part, it doesn't quite line up, which is totally fine for the middle, because once you put it into the rings, you really won't notice it. And so I thought the sorry, I'm losing my words. I thought the photos were getting lost alone on the paper, so I had to go ahead and put a little bit of a black border on all of them, matting them on black cardstock. And I just was looking for like the scrappy pieces in my collection, which worked out perfectly. That way I didn't have to cut into a whole new piece of black cardstock. Here I am just using those acetate letters to write out Mother's Day, and I don't actually write out open house yet, but I think I might go back. Because I just remembered listening to my intro saying that I wanted to do that. So then I just cut a little cluster for the side to make something else on this corner in order to balance out what Mother's Day was on the upper right corner. And I do like the way it came out. And now, hence also telling you about moving, most of my stuff is packed. So I only have like 3 or 4 sticker books that sit on my desk because they were like recent purchases. So... and I have a couple of Live, Love, Posh, but I do find a couple of perfect ones because I just bought the Bookish sticker pad from Joann's. It was on clearance at my local one, so I got it for like $10. So I do find a few yellow toned stickers to use, including one that says Dreamer that I use on the left side, and then a few like gold circles. You see me applying them now, and it makes everything tie together really nicely. So I definitely... always think about your sticker pads. That even one that's called Bookish for me right now gave me everything I needed to make this layout cohesive on both pages, and I just love the way it turned out. Okay, that will be layout number 1. I like that I went down the middle. The only thing I'm already realizing, if you saw me looking, I have packed my memory punch, the Happy Planner one, because I don't see it. It's hot pink and I don't see it anywhere right now, so that means I packed it. And then I can't also find the single hole punch that I also have. Must have packed that too. So now these are just going to live a little bit outside of the rings for a while because I covered them up. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, I cut out the middle part so that I had both of these so they don't blend well there. But once they're punched and then the discs are between it, they'll almost be like individually holding their own. So very colorful, very floral. If you're not here for the floral, gotta love it. So okay, so let's work on layout number 2 on the back side of the florally layout that we just completed. And this one, I'm going to use this rainbow paper. I've already put copy paper over that grid set that I always dislike. And so I'm thinking I'm just going to do 2 big columns thus far for both of them. And I have my photos. The thing that's special about this week is that this is the week that I did document heavily for a week in the life. So I have more than enough stories and other photos that I want to have that I don't want to kind of tell them twice. So these are just pictures that are like in duplicate or that I really like that I still want here. But this is my week in the life that I documented. So I want to keep the journaling brief because I'll have a whole album in detail. But I just remembered too that I just packed up all of my Happy Planner stickers except for like 1 or 2 books that sit on my desk. So I don't have stickers to embellish it, but I did take out these stamps that are called title making or title builders because I have all my stamps still out on my desk. This is like I just kept this all with access so that I can still do some filming. So we're just going to take some black archival ink and kind of stamp some of these fun big words. Some of them are in script and some of them are like in a print. And just decorate in between the photos a little bit with some stamping. And those will be my stickers. So let's get started. Okay, I think I mentioned it in the intro for this layout, that this is the week I did my week in the life, so there will be a whole album of details dedicated to this week. So I wanted to keep the layout rather simple. I'm also using the branding strip here from the backside. This was a Amy Tangerine paper, and definitely I think these were just other extra photos I had cut or printed to either good ones that I wanted for this spread or a duplicate and something that I know I'm probably having on my photos for my Week in the Life album come out. And I'm just like, why did I print two of these? So I was like, you know what? It's going into my memory planner, and that'll be a home for it too. And then a couple that didn't make it. But this was also the week, so if you follow sports, the Miami Heat, I'm from in South Florida, are in the finals. Oh no, we're in the semifinals, but this week was like the Eastern Conference, so we were watching the Heat like every other day that they had a game this week, so that was intense. My husband definitely is a sports fanatic and enjoys following the Florida teams. So, and then the rest of it was just also, I remember my sister came to town unexpectedly. She just kind of flew in for a week, which is great. But it made it a little bit more of a special week other than being a typical one. So yeah, and then my little sentiments I'm using are just ones that are like goals, or it says find the beauty in every day, where I love doing things together, and then life is beautiful. I used a combination of these L Studio title builders, and then that one other stamp set was a Heidi Swap one. And they are becoming like my favorite ones right now. Like I'm really evolving into this stamp culture, and I love the idea of having one stamp and I can use it over and over again in different inks to match different layouts. It's really where have I been kind of moment, you know, like this eureka light bulb, like wow, I should have been collecting stamps and doing this for so long. And these are some of my favorite brands, like the L Studio, Heidi Swap. I love Carrie Bradford's Alphas. They're my favorites. And then I do have a lot of like just icons and images and stuff too from various brands that I do like to pull from. But I loved using my stamps in this layout, and I have to do it more often. Okay, that wraps up this one. So very simple. Like I said, I documented Week in the Life here, but I wanted to have two stamps on the white parts where I usually have like my journaling. And then I filled in the areas as best I could between all those stamps with some of the nice sentiments that are included. Maybe something still fits there, but for now, it is just fine. These stories will be in detailed for my Week in the Life album, so stay tuned for that. I wasn't able to vlog that week because, believe it or not, the week didn't turn out the way I thought it was. My sister actually flew down for the week, and we had to start packing our house because we sold it up on the previous week, and we have to get out rather quickly at the end of the month. Literally at the end of the month. And so a lot of things were just hectic. So vlogging didn't happen, but I will try my attempt at vlogging if it's something that you'd like to see. But overall, the week was great. Stay tuned for that video and for upcoming scrapbook videos, because I have been using my close to my heart collections. I do still have Hip Kit coming up, and I've purchased Cocoa Daisy. I'm subscribed to that one now, so I have those coming in, and I have all those supplies from Studio Calico, so those traveler's notebooks, which I do have a few lined up because I've printed tons of photos. So tons of content coming. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and give this video a thumbs up. Till next time.